The Bible teaches that God is perfect and that He cannot change. But what about those passages in Scripture that seem to indicate God changes His mind? You know, if I took you to one incident, Moses is walking down from Mount Sinai and the Israelites are worshiping the golden calf. It seems as if God has told Moses that He is set to destroy Israel. And Moses goes and he prays. And in Exodus chapter 32, verse 14, it says this, "And the Lord relented from the disaster that He had spoken of bringing on His people." Moses' intercession on the behalf of the people kept them from being destroyed. But humanity's point of view, God's mind was changed. But God had known all along what would happen. Moses prayed for the mercy, and God answered his prayer. When we see God telling us that He changed His mind by our prayers, and that He never changes, the simplest way is to see that He uses our prayers to fulfill His purposes. He works through our prayers and His providence at the same time. The answer to the question is to simply say that God answers our prayers and He wants us to pray. There are hundreds of examples of God encouraging us to pray. Here are three. The first in Proverbs chapter 15, verse 29 says this, "The Lord is far from the wicked, but He hears the prayers of the righteous." Jesus told His followers at the Sermon on the Mount in Matthew chapter 7, verse 7 says, "Ask, and it will be given to you. Seek, and you will find. Knock, and it will be open to you. For everyone who asks receives, and the one who seeks finds, and the one who knocks, it will be opened." Family, finally, James, the brother of Jesus, says this in James chapter 5 and in verse 16, "The prayer of a righteous person has great power as it is working." God accomplishes His will through our prayers. He wants us to take our desires to Him. God's providence accomplishes His sovereign will in partnership with our desires. Any seeming change in God's plan is from humanity's point of view and not His.